Thanks for listening. If you like what you hear, support the show by joining the Nerd On Nation powered by Patreon. Go to nerdon.tv/Patreon and get Nerd On exclusives for as little as $1 a month.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd On. The Nerd On.
The Nerd On podcast?
Yeah, I haven't done the podcast. Okay, well, take two. It's Steve's. Okay.
Okay,
right.
really good.
Bring it back. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Nerd On, the podcast you didn't need but deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome. Today, we have another movie club meetup. And it's just us three. And let's not go too far without introducing the host. My name is Tom, and we have...
I'm Amy.
And I'm Esteves.
One of these days,
You're supposed to swing it underneath and not over the top.
I don't want to copy completely. Is my version.
One of these days, I would love if you were like, I'm Anthony. I'm like, whoa.
No one likes when I do that.
Yes, these are our hosts for tonight. We have 3 amazing movies to talk about that we watched, and we're just going to gush about it and share our nerdy enthusiasm for it. And we would love it if you stuck around. And before we jump into those, we have to dedicate this episode to a patron. If you don't know already, our Nerd On Nation, nerdon.tv/Patreon. Our patrons help us keep the lights on. Our hosting fees, our website fees, allows us to keep doing these things. If any of these, microphones or cameras and all that stuff breaks, ideally we can replace them out, help each other out. And also, it just shows how much support you guys have for the show. The comments help, the likes help, sharing of our videos and our podcast helps. But Patreon is the number one way that you can get things earlier, faster, as well as be a direct support to the show. And our patron of this episode is dedicated to, is T-Dog. T-Dog. Thank you so much for your patronage, as well as your community involvement, your presence, sharing things on the Discord, your things that you love, all the Blastoise and Squirtle cards and collection you have, but also forcing me to play games like Hollow Knight, Silk Song, and then being a part of the Dive Boys, Bros, Balls, Bros. That's what I said.
It's a lot of bees.
It is.
All that be.
But yeah, so now we can jump into some of these movies. We have 3, so it's not as long as our other episodes where we've had like 5 or so. Who would like to have the honors to go first?
Wow, she nose goes. I was about to say.
How about Esteves? How about Esteves goes? Because your movie, I think, is the longest movie.
And the oldest one.
Like you.
The longest and the oldest.
Yep, that would be me.
Yeah.
So, I'll go there. That's right.
I unintentionally fell into that.
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
Anyway,
Lord.
So my film for the evening was from the late 90s, 1997 to be exact. And it was not only... an political action drama thriller. It also was one of the big films to star a big television star at the time. And this film is, of course, The Peacemaker, starring George Clooney and Nicole Kidman.
Better than the show The Peacemaker on
Correct,
HBO.
not The Peacemaker, nor the John Cena one, because that's just Peacemaker. This is The Peacemaker.
But what about the Dolph Lundgren one from 1997 as well, which might have happened to be the one that I might have watched instead of George Clooney and Nicole Kidman?
That's Peacekeeper.
Peacekeeper.
Oh, but it said Peacemaker in everything.
We don't talk about Drago, okay? We don't talk.
It's like Peacemaker, like Joel Schumacher. When this is Peacemaker.
Which is funny because
makes sense.
The Peacemaker came out in 97. George Clooney was hot in 3 years.
He's always been hot.
He's out of sight.
Right. Another movie that came a year later. This was 3 years into his run on ER. Nicole Kidman, of course, had already made a name for herself in the film industry. The synopsis for this film, I'll give it real quick, is a U.S. Army colonel and a civilian woman. Wow, that's a bad That's a
You
bad
didn't-
synopsis.
Did you not read and find an official synopsis?
Oh, that was the
That is the
official one
official
they
synopsis.
have.
But
That's
also
That's
that movie
trash.
does date itself.
It does. Nicole Kidman, I can't get the official title, but she was a nuclear weapons physicist.
A scientist is
She's a
what
scientist.
your internet said.
Yeah,
She's
in
bomb
the US
lady.
government. That is a
Bomb lady.
IMDb, do better.
Dear
That
Dr.
was
Bomb Lady.
dumb. These two are. She supervises them as they must track down stolen Russian nuclear weapons before they're used by terrorists. And that's a very
So Dr.
Bland.
Bomb Lady gets to be in charge, or i.e. hold the leash
of hot army guy.
of hot army officer guy who
Yeah.
it plays fast and loose takes no prisoners. Pew pew.
She's guessing after that Dolph Lundgren
Yeah.
mistake, right?
Yeah, I am. I'm
Anyway,
okay with that.
This movie came out because I was a huge ER fan at the time. I was watching ER at age 12, and I was all about anything ER, including George Clooney's Dr. Ross. And I was very hyped to see him make the jump from TV to film. And he was in a movie with one of my favorite actresses, Nicole Kidman. So I was like, give me this now.
Was she only your favorite
And-
actress because she was in Batman?
Eyes Wide Shut.
Actually, it goes farther back. Eyes Wide Shut was later, but that was a great movie.
Is it the BMX one that I can't remember?
No. Days of Thunder
Mm-hmm.
and Far and Away.
Well, Far and Away, that's right. You talked about
That was my
one.
love for Nicole Kidman started there. Was those two movies.
And now it's
So I was very happy.
every time you go to an AMC theater.
Yeah, and Eyes Wide Shut.
We come here.
So I was very excited, and also being was back then, I was hyped to see that the director, Mimi Letter, she was one of the primary directors on ER, who has gone on to make such great works as Deep Impact and The
Oh.
Morning Show on Apple TV.
Oh, okay.
But she was like directed the majority of the ER episodes. So watching Peacemaker is like you're watching a higher budget ER, but political drama, not medical drama. So yeah,
Especially when he
I
looks
love
around. Can I get a detail over here?
Yeah.
I need a
Stat-
scalpel. I mean,
Stat-
M16.
Same haircut too. Same thing. It was good. Also the same production crew of both at that time ER and eventually The West Wing, John Wells and their squad. So also another one of those movies where a lot of people you've seen who weren't stars yet. Like Michael Boatman, who was on Spin City and done many other comedy work there. The actor who went on to play Dr. Kovac on ER when Clooney left. He has a very small part in this film. Holt McCallany.
McColney. Yeah,
I keep forgetting
McColney.
his
Yeah.
last name. Yes. He's got a small part in the beginning
I saw him.
minutes of it. Yeah. So it's a great political thriller for me. It was very underrated in my opinion. There's so many beautiful shots by Mimi in this film. Great action hero shots, of course, but just some amazing visuals and region jumping throughout the film because you're in DC, then you're in the Middle East, then you're in Russia, then you're in New York. It's just it had everything 15-year-old Esteves wanted to see in an action film with two of his favorite actors.
Can I while watching this movie, I did a little bit of my own research, and there's something that I like to judge a movie based on the movie. Fuck the behind the scenes shit. It's all about like in the frame. What story are you telling me in the frame, right? Like everyone's like, oh, but did you know she learned how to hold her breath for 12. Who gives? In the film, did it tell me something? Did it make me feel something? That's what matters, right?
My side project.
And I get it. It's cool. Having behind the scenes factoids is fun and great. But I'm like, does it?
Tales cinema.
Anyways, but I will say this movie did rob me of something. It didn't give me something. I mean, it has given me something. I remember watching this movie very fondly with my dad. But it robbed something from me. Did you know that before this movie, George Clooney was actually supposed to do another movie?
What movie?
A movie for Universal Pictures. A movie directed by Sam Raimi. A movie that would be
Batman Robin
with Jason Scott Lee. And this movie would have been The Green Hornet.
Shut up.
He was going to be in the Green Hornet.
He was going to do the Green Hornet, but he opted for this because Steven Spielberg told him, because this is the first, I think,
DreamWorks.
live action DreamWorks movie. And then Steven Spielberg was like, this is going to be our annual live action movie for DreamWorks. And George Clooney was like, I'm going to hop on that. Spielberg Venus because ER is already an emblem ass thing. So I got to make Daddy Spielberg happy. But instead, so we don't get a Green Hornet. We got Seth Rogen Green Hornet like 13 years later. And then, I mean, without that movie, we probably wouldn't have seen that failure. And then we wouldn't probably see great things like the studio and TMNT and stuff like that. So, whatever.
Well, that's crazy because Jason Scott Lee played Bruce Lee.
I know. And then he would have been.
He'd have been Bruce Lee's character.
Scott Lee.
Yeah, Kato. I love Jason Scott Lee. That would be because he plays Kato in that biopic as well, where he's.
But no, we have to have this pretty in-depth real look at like how terrorism actually happens, and it's just people
Esteves did it.
Something that just ages kind of well.
I like how you're mad but also pointing out the pros of this movie.
Oh yeah.
I mean, go do this accurate political.
I mean, I'll speak a little bit about this. Like, I remember watching this movie as a kid because my dad was. I guess my dad was really about George Clooney. My dad's like into leading men. I think my dad's like one of the most gay straight guys I've ever seen in my life. Like, because he loves James Bond. Like, he loves James Bond. But I'm like,
I vibe with that.
But I'm like, and so he likes these like leading man types, right? So like, I don't think he watched ER at all. But I think the moment George Clooney, it was on site. He was just like, we got to watch every George Clooney thing. I'm like,
to this day,
who is this?
To this day,
who is this man? And so we watched it, and I remember watching as a kid, and we had the VHS, and I remember it's just that like the blue cardboard box, and then you see Clooney and Kidman running towards Cameron, and they're like almost like sepia toned or grayed out or something like that. But yeah, and like as a kid, I'm just like, I don't know what's happening. Only thing that matters to me is the explosions and the running, because that's how my lizard brain as a kid worked. And then knowing, I was like, it ends in a church, and I don't know why. And then watching this movie again recently, again, most modern audiences will probably be like, oh, this is such a slog fest. You got to get through all this, blah, blah. But like, you're watching it, it's cool, and I hate to, I'm going to put it in the black and white, because in the movie, the bad guys, quote unquote, you see it from their perspective, how they are concocting the scheme. And it's not like and the cool thing, the way it works is like, there's not some mustache twirling evil villain who's like, I have nuclear weapons, who is going to hold America under hostage while you meet my demands. It is, this group in one country is trying to make a move for these weapons, and it will shift some geological powers politically, but then it's about this splinter section of this group, these people who may not necessarily be freedom fighters, or they're just people who are seeking revenge and their sense of justice because terrible things happen overseas that America is involved in, if not directly related to, or are active participants in. And they're just like, why did my family have to suffer for your guys's like flash in the pan? And so all this stuff, it's not like, again, it's not the grandmaster scheme. It's like, if we get this one thing, then we can just give a little bit of retribution to people who've caused us so much harm. And even in the end, you see the person who has all this suffering and hatred and anger, like, just look around and see innocent lives, and then they're not devoid of humanity, where they're like, all of you deserve to burn. They're just like, everyone get out, all you people get out. And it's like, I'm going to do this, and it's going to make a message, but like, I don't need to hurt innocent people to do so. But it's like the symbolic level, and that's, a lot of the warfare tactics. A lot of these things have to be messages and create symbols for the problems of war, as well as international conflict. It's a movie based off a book, and I didn't know that until now watching it. And I'm like, the movie is really dense in terms of like, you have to have a lot of quote unquote, I think, human worldly understanding of like, political tensions, like why doesn't America just walk over to Russia and be like, hey man, you have weapons, leaving the country without getting shot out of the sky? You're like, well, you know, history dictates that
post Cold War, mid 90s.
But like in the movie, they kind of just like, you got to go in through it. And it's like, why does the military guy not listen to the government liaison? Why does the government liaison not give a shit about the military guy? Like, you have to understand, it's like, oh yeah, the civilian and military conflicts and like the importance that they all need, like all those things are important. It's like, I report directly to the president, you have the on the field work. And it's like, you know, there are those things that make it quote unquote just a movie, which is like entertaining, but like what it takes and how it goes, and like, okay, cool, you're an official member of the government in this country, I'm one from this country, we have to meet in a neutral country. So it's like that kind of, those kind of things that are like, you enjoy more when you've kind of, I think, not been around the block, but just like have a naive sense of history. So yeah, it's
on going off that, the pairing of the characters, including Kidman's characters, Tom DeVoe and Kelly.
No, I'm Tom.
Hi, Tom. The partnership there and how they play off each other. Right off the bat, we know that she is this quote unquote office lab rat who knows everything about these nukes, who knows everything about the way they're put together, who knows everything about the political mindset of those extremists. But she's never seen a day in the field, knows nothing about any of that when it comes to those in the field at the second moments. You have Clooney's character, who's been in the field for at least a decade, dealing with this part of the world, dealing with the black market, dealing with making deals with people you don't want to talk about because deals had to be done, and not knowing what she knows about the weapons, and her not knowing what he knows about the people they're messing with. And I loved how they play off each other. And it isn't like a lot of these movies fail to do and fail, is making this romantic connection between these two. You don't get that with these two. You get a friendship, you get a partnership, you get a I need you, you need me. And as we go through this, we tend to respect each other more as the time goes on. It isn't we have a moment at a hotel room. It isn't we see each other across the table and something sparkles. No, it is primarily I need you, you need me. I trust you, you trust me. We're the ones who know how to get to this before it happens. And I love how that slow burns, as you said, through it, because right off the bat, we know she's a genius. We know he's a smartass. We know she knows she's book smart. We know he's street smart. And it's the way that they play off each other with their pros and cons that I loved so much. And the way it continued. And Clooney and Kidman, I feel, are great in this movie together. And it wasn't the biggest action movie of the year. It was a hit, a semi-hit. But I watched this one so many times. I loved the amount of hero shots that they gave Clooney, like the revolving camera on top of the taxi, the running with him and the other FBI agents on the taxi cabs in the middle of New York City, and the way Mimi sets up the camera. Again, those wide shots, like we talked about in the musical meetup, when those wide angles of so much is going on and we got the main characters right here. You get that all over in this movie in action sequences. You see our main characters here and they're running after that guy, but there's this wide shot that captures downtown New York and there's so much happening. And it just showed Mimi Letter showing the talent she had very early in her career, having only been a TV director at that time. And so it's, when I talk about political dramas or political action thrillers for people to watch, this is one I always go back to. And I know it never got the big accolades that many do, but I'm like, this one hit for me in a way that I wasn't expecting, and why I rewatched it over and over whenever HBO was showing it at home when I was 15 years old. And that Hans Zimmer score.
Yeah.
Hans Zimmer score.
It's interesting to think like DreamWorks made this movie. You know, like Shrek?
Yeah.
How to Train Your Dragon?
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
That one. Oh. And what I consider to be the most badass shot in there, and Amy, you'll know when you see it, it's halfway through when the car chase throughout Prague, I believe, Aaron, that car chase with Clooney and Kidman in the cars.
Yeah.
When he's got that one car lined up and he hits it in reverse, full speed, dude, every time that scene, I'm like, fuck yeah. the way he disables the guys in that car at full speed. I'm like, oh my, and then the walk up after.
Yeah,
It's
to me, it's the walk up at the end.
moments.
It's the walk up at the end.
One of his most badass moments on screen is in this movie right here, and that moment, maybe you'll see it and be like, oh, I see what Esteves means.
That's where Matt Reeves got it for Batman.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, what a hack! What a hack!
Bro, when he looks and hits in reverse and sorry. Okay, I'll stop.
Amy,
What?
what are your thoughts on
I'm here.
Peacemaker?
Yeah.
Well,
Those
Dolph
first
Lundgren was very nice.
No.
He was very
No.
tall.
No.
He got there are people that came to him
I'm gonna
inside of
see-
in his military uniform.
I'm gonna see if there is even a Dolph in the Clooney Kidman.
No,
cast.
of course there's. Oh, no.
No, because you want to know where I knew I messed up.
Mhm.
It Steve's the opening credit for the Dolph Lundgren one just said starring Dolph Lundgren. And I went, I
Wait.
don't think that.
That's not right.
And I was like, oh, maybe it's much like when, you have a movie that has like a big name and they got to be first, like a Mark Hamill movie or
Steven
something that says
Seagal
Mark
and
Hamill
executive
and then
decision.
everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. No.
No.
What happened,
So,
Amy?
No, what happened was,
What
money is the root of all. So really, what happened was for Movie Club,
Alexander Knutskov.
I went and did try to originally find the Peacemaker, not the John Cena version, because I really couldn't see him. However, in trying to find where it was streaming, I hit a lot of problems. Everybody wanted my money, and no offense, I did not want to give them my money. No one would even be me this for free.
Wait,
So-
what? Steve's picked a fucking obscure movie for the movie meetup club thing.
No.
And
When
it's not available anywhere.
When we picked it, it was on Paramount many months ago.
Which the thing is, I
And then
have
it left.
Paramount, and guess what? It wasn't on Paramount.
It left since then.
Yeah, which is dumb. And I'm like, maybe perhaps I could utilize a VPN to see if it's in another country available on it. No, it's not. You'd be surprised that other countries that happen to be featured in this movie do not have on their streaming services this movie. So
I
went
it somewhere, but with commercials.
Where was that?
Pluto.
It wasn't on Pluto when I looked.
It's there. I found it. Like, it was too late to tell you, but I found it. It's on Pluto, but it's like they
I
extended.
looked
At the time of this
by-
recording, I'm going to find it right now, and we're going to see
They
if it's truly
extended
there.
by 45 minutes. It's like 2.5 hours because of commercials and ads.
I looked on Pluto.
It was when I looked, it was too late.
On every streaming service.
Yeah, when I looked, it was too late.
possible
It was
that
too late.
It's on demand. Wait, does that mean watch now? Yeah, it's on demand.
That's
You can
paid.
watch right now. Oh wow.
What pay for what?
You got to rent it.
No, it's on Pluto.
Yeah, see the-
No, it's just available. Wait, is it?
Yeah, it's on Pluto.
That's caca.
It's just
Yeah.
available.
That's caca.
That's great. Okay, okay. Amy, continue with your story because
Anyway,
I'll explain
It was too
my
late to tell
viewing
her to-
experience.
Okay, so basically, what ended up happening was by the time of this recording, just shortly before, because I had lost my mind, and Dolph Lundgren, a lot of Dolph Lundgren, I ended up being able to find on one of those sketchy, we don't talk about it, but thank the Lord that
They
devices
exist.
have protection.
Darn.
Yep. After going through, no joke, 7 variations that said The Peacemaker 1997, George Clooney, The Peacemaker 1997, Nicole Kidman. They're all separate movies. They're all Dolph Lundgren. I found one.
Trolls.
I found one and I started watching it. And I got to the first 30 minutes.
Yeah,
And-
so the boom.
I saw the boom. There was a boom. There was a train. There was a boom. There
How
was
about that-
Russians.
How about that poor couple that comes out to see what happened and
He's the man and the goats in the
Life's
porta
over.
potty.
life's
In the
over?
porta potty.
Yep, just like that.
So there was a lot of booming.
Yeah.
Not metro booming, but
And-
there was a lot of booming.
And you saw Nicole swimming.
Yes, I did.
Yep.
I briefly saw some Dr. Kelly or nuclear scientist lady.
Civilian woman supervisor.
Doctor,
Well,
civilian nuclear
The movie
scientist.
is kind of written that way, and I'm like,
It is.
that
But
I,
it gives him
I'm-
U.S. Army colonel.
I'm
And
not
then she
trying to
gets-
trash the movie, Esteves. I'm trying to say it in like, when they made this movie, they did like, hey, you're pencil pushing girl, and you're a little out of your depth and listen to the man, kind of like there is that vibe.
But she does it though as you keep going.
Well,
like she owns her moments to him.
Yes, but just say, and it's probably because Mimi's directing it. She's like, she doesn't start off on an even keel.
No, it does not start out that way. It shows,
and that's probably because of how the movie was written and how it was sold and how they could sell it. It's 1997.
Yeah,
1997,
and she's right. She's right.
So if I stop now, I just know that just outside in the country in Russia somewhere, there's a big kaboom, a nuclear bomb went off.
Yes.
And there's a guy that legitimately like has some of the bombs.
Only one went off and the others are missing.
And Dr. Kelly's a really good swimmer.
Yes.
That's what I learned.
The guy with shiny boots interrupts her swimming.
Lots of people have shiny boots. I don't know who them attached to.
You don't see. He's an extra.
Without too much spoilers, Esteves, or I guess we could spoil a little bit, but whatever, it doesn't matter. Esteves, why did you pick this movie for us to talk about it here?
Because I wanted to, aside from being like, I like this thing, I do that too.
Wow, low blow to Josh, apparently.
Hi,
Jesus
Josh.
Christ.
Hi there, Josh.
Whoa.
Besides that, because it was part of it, this is one of those action movies, like you said, Tom, I still believe hits today. It's like The Siege with Denzel Washington, Annette Bening, and Bruce Willis. Those movies were made in the late 90s, and today in 2025, they still hit. They still are making points that we're dealing with today. Actions we took in the Middle East that are still having effects today when it comes to the Peacemaker. Actions when it comes to our Constitution, when it comes to the Siege. But that's why I like this movie so much, because the angle on it.
And that women are smarter than men.
She is smarter than him. Yes, in this. Yes. Yeah. Go past 30 minutes. You'll see what I mean.
I haven't. She's a good swimmer. I can support her in that.
He's a good swimmer.
I'm a lifeguard. Let me support a swimmer.
And it showed how, again, the partnership between the two and how they needed each other for different areas of what they were doing. He needed her. She needed him, depending on what the aspect was.
You better get me that authorization, nuclear bomb lady.
You get me authorized. And also, I love the way Clooney yells when he's in an authoritative moment.
Okay. Also, I'll have to give little
drop your weapons, you
little tidbits. I remember when I was in ROTC in high school, I remember my Army instructor did say there was.
Yeah, he was. Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah, Tom was. Yeah.
Army ROTC.
Yeah. Tom was. Yep. Yeah. I wore some of his stuff for a little short film.
Yeah.
I need pictures. Somebody get me pictures after.
I was on the back of the handbook.
Mm-hmm.
I went to a leadership academy thing in DC because I don't know, it doesn't matter. Anyways, doesn't matter. The real thing that matters is that my Army instructor, Sergeant Major Hallbrook,
Nice.
he was great, and he said, or it was Major Larry. It was probably Larry Lineback, Major Larry Lineback, and he said that this movie, The Peacemaker, probably had the best representation of the military and how they operate. As well as their depiction in their uniform. Because most movies usually get it wrong. I don't know exactly if it's true, but there is, quote unquote, some kind of like, you have to have it wrong so that it's not like you're fully portraying it. But he's like, this movie didn't have much wrong at all. Like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, I can't see what's wrong other than maybe like.
Are you ribbon checking?
No, I'm like looking at these pieces, like the crests and what lapels they're on and the ranks, and then like where name tags versus where like what
you're doing a handbook check.
Like, well, I'm looking at it because like I'm like, it's like cool. You have the people in charge, like in the Class A. You have the paper pushers people in the Class B, and then when they're on the field, they're wearing the Class C uniforms. And I'm like watching it now as an adult. I'm like. And there's some patches I'm like, do you wear a patch if you don't need one? Like, I think there is a guy who's also in a Class A uniform. You see him, he's got Airborne, and I think you see Clooney, he's got Ranger, and it's like, yeah, those are things you can get, and just depends.
Was it the right unit?
I don't know. I didn't.
Was-
That's why, like, I was looking, but the angle's cut off, so I'm like, I can't see it. And like at some point, I'm like, I'm not paying attention to the movie. I'm gonna stop this.
Stop now. Stop.
But like, yeah, I mean, I thought it was, I don't know, it showed, I think, a really cool, and I think that is probably a realistic thing of like, it's kind of like when I was in film school watching episodes of The Wire and how they don't have like the CSI technology and like this blood splatter. It's like, we can get the information there in The Wire. They're like, well, it's probably going to take like 6 weeks to get back. And then it's like, yeah, things take a long time. And like
needing authorization to fly into a no-fly zone. And
Yeah.
they're actually waiting for the authorization. Yeah.
Yeah, as they're going in, or just like civilian people who are doing things on the phone and like, we mean this is state level, this is federal level, and then like it's like, oh, the headache of just like, yeah, you need civilians to talk to civilians, you need the military to like do this, but you need them to work together, and they're just clashing together, so not fun.
Dude, the last 25 minutes are such pure, beautiful chaos in that finale that I love so much. And yeah. And the line again, Clooney's voice, drop the weapon and show me your fucking hands. The way he yells at, like, oh, like your dad. I'm like, Dad, yes. Tell him, Clooney. Tell him. Tell that man.
But we can move on from Peacemaker.
Yes, finally. Sorry, my apologies. The Peacemaker.
The Peacemaker.
With
Unless
Clooney
Steve's,
and
this is your pick. Is there anything that you would have wanted more from this movie? Anything that you want our audience to go and watch this with?
I want you to experience it, but it left me. There was nothing more I wanted. It left me. It does leave me curious about the two characters, but I liked that it does that.
I like that too.
I don't need anything more than what they gave us.
This movie came out in 1997.
Yep.
Right before this, a movie called Broken Arrow came out, and I watched the shit out of that movie. Guess what? Same goddamn thing. Missing nuclear bomb. And like there was just an era of like the later 90s of just missing bomb. Like,
and John Travolta smoking like this.
And you got to do the Christian Slater rope-a-dope. And to me, again, John Travolta, that was like, I think that was my first John Travolta. And to this day, I'm like, man, John Travolta as Lex Luthor will always be something in my mind.
The way he sticks that index finger away, every time he smokes, man, every time.
Again, I never saw John Travolta. Anyways, this isn't the episode. But
I never saw John Travolta. That's just the episode. John Travolta, did I ever see you?
Who?
I would love to have seen him as Lex Luthor once in my life.
You get that look.
But in this movie Peacemaker, this is one of a sea of movies of where's the missing nuke.
Yep.
Here's the hystericals about it. But this is the one that like actually I feel like can bubble to the top and is one of the movies that's like, again, like really just like not just having a more nuanced take on like different countries as well as their people and then how they view America. And I think that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Amy, do you want to go or you want me to go?
I will go because we can talk and segue, ham-fisted or otherwise, about chemistry on screen and between our leading actors. So my pick for the movie club meetup was 2020's Palm Springs. Sorry.
Palm Springs, the place.
Palm Springs, not the place, kind of the place, but not the place. It is officially dubbed as an American sci-fi romantic comedy. Hey. And this was kind of a weird one coming from Hulu because this is when they're like, we're making movies. Look at us. Yes. Give you money. But it was directed by Max Barbakow in their feature directorial debut. It does star Andy Samberg. You might also know him from SNL and as the Lonely Island Boys. And Kristen Militoni. I think that's how you pronounce her last name.
Militonia. Milioti.
Milioti. Thank you. I can't. And one
Anyway.
J.K. Simmons.
Yellow peanut. Peanut M&M.
Yes. You mean J. Jonah Jameson?
Yeah, peanut
however-
M&M. Yes.
Santa.
I'm not wrong.
Yes, you're not wrong. That's why I didn't say you were wrong.
Santa. She said Santa.
because he's a Santa.
I know.
So brief synopsis of this is two strangers meet at a wedding in Palm Springs and get stuck in a time loop together. Like that's the short.
As they do.
As it always happens.
Mm-hmm.
You go to Palm Springs for a wedding and you
meet
get
someone, you get stuck in a time loop. That's a typical story.
But so really when it came down to this, for me, the reason that I picked it first and foremost, I had seen it previously, but I actually liked it. I liked how it starts you more.
It's you not bring just movies you don't like to the movie meetup?
No. What did do you know what? There, I mean, Event Horizon. I'm sitting here thinking about somebody who said, "I need you to see this movie. It's a great movie, Amy." And then they put an Event Horizon.
She won't let you.
Still, I
am the ship now.
Exactly.
My eyes.
Where we're going, we don't need eyes. Bum, bum. This isn't the episode. This isn't the episode. Palm Springs. Steve, shut up.
So not only did I like this, but it actually had a really great take on the time loop genre. It didn't feel like Groundhog's Day, even though it paid slight homage to it. The chemistry between our protagonists is amazing. J.K. Simmons is just a delight. Like random delight.
This is again, and I think it's always important to notate post Academy Award winning J.K. Simmons. So like, again, he could do whatever he wants, and then when he does these things, you're just like, he just make everything better.
Wanted. Yeah. He could do whatever he wanted to begin with, and I'm like, that is the man. Like, I love this.
Be Batman, Superman, and Spider-Man in the same movie. Yep. I'd be like, I'm here to watch this.
I'm here for it.
I'm here to watch this.
Yeah, and when it comes down to Palm Springs, it was one of the first times that I really remember being impressed with Andy Samberg, not as just like, ha ha ha, I'm a joker, blah, blah, blah. It created a space where there was like, oh, you're normal and you're okay being normal. And yeah, you're quippy and a bit of an asshole, but it actually helps build not only character and the story, and it moves forward. And there's some rando shots in here, and I'm like, that's really fun. I like that. And to be honest, the first 30 minutes of this thing literally just makes you go, I'm what? Wait, what? What? And then that's when they get you. So I love that for me. But yeah, that's me. Guys, how did you feel about me forcibly making you watch a sci-fi romantic comedy at this time?
The Steves, go ahead.
So I was aware of the hype of this movie when it first came out. I heard the good buzz it was getting. It was getting great reviews. I had never come across watching it. I didn't even watch a trailer. Never got to watch a trailer. And I did not want to watch a trailer for this. I wanted to be like, I'm just going to go into this. I knew it got a lot of popular buzz. I want to see what it's about. This is one of the biggest surprises I've had in our movie meetups. I thoroughly enjoyed this. Like, yeah.
Including when I made the recommendation for the Book of Clarence.
No, that's not a movie meetup club.
That was me.
Oh yeah, no, I forced you.
That was a whole episode.
That's a very because I wanted it to. I wanted it to be a movie meetup.
Yeah.
No, we dedicated a whole episode of that.
I know, and it was worth it.
It was,
but
absolutely
thoroughly. This was a great delight. It took, like you said, it took an element of Groundhog Day, it paid a slight homage to it, but then became its own thing. And I'm trying to think of things Amy hasn't said about it. Their pairing together is fantastic. At this time, I believe Kristen only had How I Met Your Mother and maybe Wolf of Wall Street to her like biggest list of creds in the industry.
I think so. It was 2020.
Yeah, she hadn't done Penguin and the Batman weren't here yet. So she shows in this film how great she is. What we would eventually learn about her. And like you said, Andy Samberg, this is the best performance I've seen him give. This is the best work I've seen him do because I'm both laughing with him, I'm feeling for him, I'm mad at him. And the way it continued to surprise you, like you got the first surprise in those first 30 minutes. That's not it. There's more to come. Oh, there's this. Oh, she's doing what actually there? Oh, he has. It just kept going. Oh, dang, I forgot. J.K. Simmons' name Roy. Is his name
Roy? Yeah. His name's Roy.
we get a backstory on Roy. Oh, look at this, what he has. It was so
Irvine.
great at balance. Yeah, Irvine. Find your Irvine.
Irvine.
It was so great at balancing being a sci-fi, being a comedy, and being a romantic drama. It did all this beautifully at the same time. In a romantic drama that fits these two characters, not your typical romance drama.
It was
fit
not
the
drama.
style. Yeah, it fit the style of these two. Because there's those brief moments where like they're funny but also heartfelt when she says, "Don't say anything," and she looks at the cave and turns back. Okay, one sentence. Like, okay, you can say one more thing. And he keeps comma, semicolon. And I was thoroughly enjoying it throughout the entire time. I loved it so much.
Same with the Esteves, actually. I saw a lot of fanfare about it. I knew about the movie. I didn't know the exact plot, but I knew. I'm like, all right, I know what I'm gonna get into. One of my good friends has a fatal crush on Kristen, and
Who
I
doesn't?
had met her at the old fruit stand here in LA. And this was like
How tall is she? She's short.
tiny.
Yeah.
And
I
she
see
had
it.
the big old sunglasses indoors in a
Mhm.
mall, and I was like, girl, you don't think I watched How I Met Your Mother so hard, you don't think
Yeah.
I recognize you? Come on.
You don't think I know who you are?
Do you come
She doesn't
on,
have-
man,
we don't.
these eyes are
Have you
small,
met
they
Ted?
still work though. Come on, man.
I have met Ted.
Anyways, yeah, I mean, I was really interested in watching this movie. I was like, oh, I really want to watch it. That looks cool. And I like, is it sci-fi? Whatever.
It's like this much sci-fi.
patch.
It's
There's a
literally
patch.
this much
Yeah,
sci-fi.
it's like,
Yeah.
but
Like a little
what
sprinkle.
if you could? I'm like, yeah, that's the most sci-fi, I guess. But
That's it.
like,
That's the
it's
sci-fi.
just like, it's just a funny, interesting thing. You could do it in dreams, however you want to do it. But like this whole shtick of the reliving the same day, we've seen it so many times that it's kind of its own genre. But they do it in a cool way because in Groundhog's Day, in Happy Death Day, they all ask their own questions, and this one kind of asks a little bit more of like what makes you happy, which is like a very cool thing. Where in Groundhog's Day, like a bad guy has to become a good person, and he has to kind of get forcibly told how to become a good person. And then in Happy Death Day, it's kind of like having to learn more about the people around you and like trying to live. And here, I like how there's like this dual arc, and they actually play it out. It's not purely this romantic story of like people falling in love in a loop. There is that cool element that like, yeah, of course you got to do that. And I like how they do the flashbacks, right? So like you'll be with one character and you'll see their progression, and then they'll do the rewind and they'll start with the other character and they'll show their progression. It really works well, especially when there's a big conflict and Sandberg's character is just like mopey and sad and nothing matters, and he like realizes like he does love her, and then we rewind and we go into her story, and she's just like a proactive character, and she's like, I'm about to learn quantum physics, yo, and I'm like, that's what's up.
I loved that so much.
Was that fantastic?
Oh, that was so
That-
good.
I like that. And I mean, it is funny because it is one of those like, yeah, a montage, you'll just do anything. In a montage, they'll fall in love. In a montage, she'll learn, 12 years worth of, quantum science.
How she progresses from like falling asleep in the first course to like actually in questions that's stumping the guy on the other end.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And sure, it's probably the most hand wavy way of like solving the problem, but like I'm like, cool, we have the mechanical device and the storytelling to do so, but it's not about that. It's about more of the emotional catharsis of like, are these characters ready to possibly get out of this time loop, this place that they didn't want to be in, and now they've realized they've become complacent and can stay there if they really wanted to. Maybe not complacent for them because it's an acceptance for Roy, but it will be a complacency for Sandberg's character. But no, I mean, nothing ever really like surprised me because I imagined it. I'm like, okay, you're telling me this kind of movie, I better not see like really half-baked, hammed up acting. and I was like, cool, like Sandberg's there, he's doing the thing. Like Adam Sandler can do it. You know, every actor is capable of doing it with proper directing as well as the material as well as preparation. Like, and I'm like, okay, cool, he can do this. I know for a fact he can probably, like, if he could handle the comedy, he could do the drama. And same thing with Kristen at this point. You know, it's fun watching it now retrospectively after watching things that she's been in. Specifically, the thing that I thought was really great was the Black Mirror episode. But she had been in some more dramatic stuff before this. Actually, I was looking it up just now. Fargo. She was in a season of Fargo. But yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people really know her right now as Gigante from Penguin. But no, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. There are not movie or world breaking things that I'm like, I would have. And then also, question. But I have those things. I do say though, I'm really surprised that Steve's comic book brain rotted brain has not said, oh, the movie where Gigante and Superman.
I was about to bring up the two casting decisions that made me go, hey!
Exactly. I was waiting for it.
One was Tyler, Mr. WB
Hecklin.
over Superman. Hecklin, yes. And the other was Jenna Friedman, the bartender. She's a political comedian.
Is she?
I was like, I follow you on Instagram. You're hilarious and also very wise.
Very wise.
She's good. She nailed the way. Sorry, off wrap. If you see her on Instagram with her show, she eviscerates the right, but that's a different story. But yes, Tyler Hecklin, idiot. Sorry, that's for me. Tyler Hecklin and Jenna Friedman go. I know those two. He's not wearing an S on his chest. He's just the groom.
Clark.
He's not being very Clark right now.
Well, I mean,
yeah. No, he was not very Clark in this.
You can actually think maybe he's very Clark before he's Superman. Before he realizes the responsibility.
This makes him super.
Maybe this is the Clark that's still like Lana Lang.
Yep.
Lana Lang. Not before Lois.
He saw Lana in Kristen's character.
But I will say,
it's Sophia Falcone.
I did like Sophia Gigante.
Gigante Falcone.
No, she rebukes.
I know.
Anyways, I did like at the very end when she finally, and that's the thing, you see the character growth. So she can do the speech. So she gives the speech, and the old lady gives her the props. But before she ends the speech, she's like, "Don't fuck this up." And he's like,
it gets serious. The way her face changes from talking.
That's Sophia Gigante right there, baby.
And right to him. Oh,
or as all you DC gooners out there know her as Mommy.
What?
But no, I liked it. I liked it a lot. I liked the really. I think the second act, as well as the third act, are the most enjoyable things because it does do things like give you a Roy, and it does do things where like there's part of me that like I guess I kind of there was a part of me that was like it has the potential to just be here's the movie. But then when you get the twist and you show what happens between her and Superman, you're like, oh shit.
You're like, damn.
I didn't even look up the genre for this film. So the half hour in, I was like, okay, it's a rom-com where these two meet at a wedding. I'm down for it. Let's see what happens. And when that arrow lands, I'm like, the fuck are we doing here?
I could smell you. That line.
What are we doing here?
The full paint and the arrows. Like I was
then like, okay, I'm in.
It's so unexpected.
Yeah.
And I love being able to find things that, yes, they can be romantic comedies, but at the heart of it, and as I continue to grow as a movie watcher, understanding that some of the best romantic comedies, with air quotes, are the ones that actually are just people who meet and are growing together. And we see that reflected so lovingly in this story that we end up having full complete arcs where Andy Samberg is literally walking in and like he's just known as Misty's boyfriend like half the time to the rest of the wedding party. Misty's boyfriend. I'm Misty's boyfriend.
Her face, the sister.
Misty's,
Oh,
the mom.
Yeah,
I'm Misty's boyfriend.
The mom.
Pia.
Yeah, and it's her name's Pia. But see, you recognize
Again, the face change.
and it's just yeah. It has such a it's such a great way to see Andy Samberg move through a character without intentionally trying to ham-fist his way into being like, look at all my dirty jokes, look at my penis, like even those moments, because there's a smattering of them in there, i.e. how we get Roy stuck in the time loop, is so bonkers, but it's in a place where it's actually meshed in and creates movement with the story. And then when you see him in Acts 2 and Act 3, when you finally understand Roy too, like you're like, oh, okay, this makes sense. And I can't, and even at the end, when Roy sees them, I'm like, yes. Yes.
First, I was like, you could give me the montage of Roy and him partying together, because J.K. Simmons being on his level, I think is fantastic. Just those moments.
I like your
The
hat.
dancing.
Of course you do.
But then the most like this feel good moment that made me just feel warm in that mid-credit scene when Roy asks him, "Okay, I got your text. Is what she doing right?" And he has no idea who he is, and just his face light up, smile like, "Holy shit, he found a way." And I'm like, you get to see your girls grow up. You get to be with your wife again and live new days. I'm like, that was fucking beautiful. Oh, I loved it.
Haha. I win.
I win.
I win. Yay. Yes. So if you still want to see it, it's currently available on
Hulu.
Because they own it, and I don't think we'll ever get rid of it.
Which, by the way, those ad placements, you get the first ad right when the twist happens.
Yep.
Like portal, I open, commercial. What?
Yep. They knew you were watching, Esteves.
Oh yeah.
They're like, no, he doesn't get to learn.
No, there's ads. I thought I paid for more.
I mean, even there's so many great moments, and there's so many great montages. Like there's questions about how many ways I tried to die, and I remember waiting to be like seeing a la Groundhog's Day, seeing all of them. You don't. And it's like, well, how many people have you slept with? And that's the one we get. And you're like, that happened
with her dad.
Yeah.
What
are we doing?
What are we doing? He's like, no, that'd be silly. Like
the lines. What are we doing?
It's with the head shake and the eyes.
Peter Gallagher. Well played.
He's great. I love him. Ever since
So
Mr. Deeds, I've
good.
loved him.
Yes.
Very good.
I will say I have a small nitpick. This isn't break the movie. It doesn't change how I feel about it. But again, if this is Palm Springs, that's near LA, because if Irvine's a drive away.
Everything's a drive away if there's no traffic.
Or
Or if you've been stuck in a time loop and you know how to get around everything.
no, Palm Springs, it's not gay enough. Palm Springs
So
is like
we should also acknowledge that
I mean,
that this place wherever they're at, also it happens, the time loop is on my birthday, which makes me laugh because it's November 9th. So like it's my birthday. But they're like out in the middle of the boonies and the rocks.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing around them. And I'm like, how far out of Palm Springs did you go for it to be Palm Springs?
the thing about have you guys been to Palm Springs?
No.
Okay, so
You
Palm,
have.
yes, Palm
You
Springs
left us for Palm
is
Springs.
interesting because like it's like
Boy.
weird nothingness, and then you get there, and then it's like
Yeah.
Palm Desert, and then so it's like Palm Springs is like this tiny cove of like several hotels and then a few delis, and then everyone is just gay and partying and doing and having cool awesome times, and then Palm Desert is like, here are all the shopping malls. So I'm like, where are all the gay dudes? Like
in one of those loops, Andy did try something new.
yeah, I'm just saying, but not enough. There needs to be at least 3 more. To me, at least three more.
Three more.
And I
Three
was
more that
like,
we know
We,
of.
we almost got 2 if it wasn't fake about
yeah,
the dad.
if it wasn't about the dad. But it was that, and yeah, so I was just like, Could have used more gay dudes. If people can talk about Wonder Woman 1984,
if that is your review,
yeah,
I am going. Like, can we put that on your letterbox?
It's great.
Could have used more
It's great.
dudes.
Could have used more gay dudes.
That's what it needs to be on your
Again,
letterbox. Okay, put it on your letterbox, please.
Him and the bartender in the car, Jennifer.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Oh,
I
that
hate
was
the
crazy.
guy's
Um,
And
In the
then
middle.
Charlotte in the bar.
but and they died. Oh, okay.
and then he died.
It's
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Okay, so with that,
Moving.
no,
from time
real quick before we move on to the next one, Amy,
Yes.
Amy,
why did you pick this movie for us to watch?
why?
So, in the effort to force people to watch things I like,
See, it's always one of it.
it's always about me. It's self-serving.
Right.
No, really, when it comes down to it, I want to be able to give people opportunities to not only weigh in, but I value other people's opinions. And this movie was one that I really liked. I felt that it did. Not only did it do itself justice, but it worked the best kind of magic in a space with a very traditionally stereotypical actor, where it gave an opportunity for something that was wholly unexpected that I thought you guys would enjoy. Turns out I'm right. I don't mind being right. But really, when it comes down to it, I really wanted to actually get your guys' opinion on it. And I'm going to still like it regardless if you hated it. But it's always something fun to maybe take a chance next time when we're like, oh, Andy Samberg's in something serious. Why not give it another try?
I think it's a great date movie.
I told my wife after spooky season that I'm going to show her Palm Springs.
Yeah, it's good.
You could show it to her during spooky season.
I
don't have time during
remember-
the daytime, and I have a movie night thing I'm doing on the other thing.
You could say what the other thing is. The more that you say it's the other thing, the more awkward it is that you do other things other than Nerd On stuff.
Tales of Cinema.
There you go.
I'm in the philosophers. Like, I do that too.
But
but-
if you keep other womaning it to us, then it just gets more and more weird.
It's the other one.
Just
The
be
other
like,
one.
we're the husband, that's the wife, and then vice versa. It doesn't fucking matter.
It's the other one.
What I was gonna say was, I remember distinctly in 2020 that Palm Springs was like they were recommending it as a horror movie during Halloween, and I was like, is this a horror movie? It's not a horror movie. What the hell are you talking about? And I was just like, I think because it did so poorly in the box office because 2020 was a great year.
Yeah.
They're just
Especially
like,
the summer of 2020.
yeah, there's like,
phenomenal.
have people watch it. So, anyways, okay, moving on to
it's that dash is sci-fi that made it horror.
moving
Well,
on.
I mean, Andy Samberg stands on a rock and goes, "I am the Antichrist," and then everything shakes.
There it
And
is.
He goes, "Oh no, the earthquake happens every day
happens.
at this time." And I'm just like, that's how you do it.
I mean, yeah. Okay, moving on to the last movie of the episode. This is my pick. This is Tron Legacy. And not Tron Uprising, and not Tron Ares. That's already already out by this time. But this
No,
is
you're
a movie.
Tron.
This is 2010, directed by Joseph Kosinski. And this is his feature directorial debut.
Damn.
And if you don't know who that is, they directed Top Gun Maverick, and as well, most recently, what's it called? F1? Yeah. For some reason I was calling it F9,
The
but
Boom Boom Racing Car.
F1, the Brad Pitt
Not
movie,
F9.
which,
F1.
funny enough, everyone's like, this is Brad Pitt's biggest movie of all time, which I'm like, that's a weird thing to think about.
Have you seen his filmography?
Well, like, no, in box office, this is like his biggest smash hit.
Wait, seriously?
Yeah,
That doesn't
F1 is
seem
his
right.
most lucrative movie of all time,
Not counting Oceans or including Oceans?
including Oceans, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
Button?
Yeah.
But not. Yeah. Dang, I thought it'd be okay. All right.
Anyways,
all right.
but anyways, so this is a sequel. It's a sequel movie, so it's an interesting pick. And I'll tell you why I picked it later. But this movie, if you don't know who it is, again, sequel off Tron. And if you don't know Tron, Kevin Flynn, Jeff Bridges, is this like spurred, hated engineer who hates his company called Encom, and they develop these games called Space Paranoids and other things, and they're this big gaming conglomerate, and they have this program called the Master Control, and they're trying to take over like technology, and it has nefarious plots to take over the military and government, all that stuff. But Kevin Flynn, who's just like, I want to take credit for the video games that not accidentally, the master program sends him to the digital world. It's an isekai for you anime nerds. And he has to learn how to play the Tron games, which is the light cycle stuff. And he ends up becoming this weird de facto kind of Flash Gordon-y hero that brings like freedom to the grid, the digital world. The sequel, The Grid, takes place 30 years later with his son, Sam. And the son is told all these great heroic stories of the grid, and he's told about Tron, and Kevin Flynn has taken over Encom as the vice president executive, the big grand poobah, and created a game called Tron, and the technology has gone everywhere. But one day, mysteriously after Sam's mom, Kevin's wife, who barely even talked about, dies, Kevin Flynn goes missing, and Sam, as a 27-year-old, played by Garrett Hedlund, goes into the grid, gets a page from, and then goes to the grid, and then discovers that Flynn's facsimile program, Clue, who is the most powerful program he can make to help bring order to the grid, before he met Tron, Clue pretty much betrayed him and tried to create the perfect system. And Kevin Flynn, is now ostracized in this other world. Sam goes find him. We meet Cora, and that's all I'm going to say. A lot of cool, crazy stuff. Tron Legacy is also scored by, they're not the late, but the now retired band, Daft Punk. It was great. It was a cool thing. This movie was, one of the first few to really hit the legacy sequels in such a way where it's like, 30 years later they make a sequel, and it's like a lot of people like it, but it didn't have a lot of critical love, although it did make a good chunk of money after the budget. So that's all I'm going to say. What are your guys' thoughts? How do you feel about it?
Shall Amy go first?
Sure, Amy shall.
She shall.
Amy shall go first. So it's not very often that there is a sequel that I enjoy as much as I did the original. I remember seeing Tron when I was a kid on VHS at home. I currently still do own Tron. I remember thinking, especially, don't watch it remastered. Just don't do yourself that disservice of watching the original Tron remastered. It does not feel the same way it does when you watch it on VHS, and it's slightly grainy, and it's got all the texture, and it's a different beast. Anyway, when it comes to this makes sense on how not only polished it is, but how upgraded, no pun intended, it feels. I really actually do enjoy Tron Legacy. I love that it feels even more like a tangible world for me at this moment in time than Tron originally felt. It also builds in a space where the story, it didn't have to be built, like it didn't have to be a sequel, but it fits nicely in here. And the ending leaves the space that if you wanted to, which Disney did, you could continue to extend the universe. I've got nitpicks on it, so I'll try to go for the nice things first, and then I'll do the nitpicks. Nice things, soundtrack. Oh my God, soundtrack is beautiful. I don't care. I can listen to it all the time. I forgot. I was like, oh damn. I forgot how amazing the soundtrack is. And then I remember just working for like the last 2 days, and I was listening to the soundtrack. So
The Grid.
The game has changed, son of Flynn. Michael Sheen.
Yeah.
Michael Sheen.
Mr. Twilight.
I'm sorry. No.
The Volturi.
He is, which is even more hilarious. But like when you have people who see And he's just like aggressively touching people's hands. Michael Sheen is absolutely a beautiful human, just hard stop. This is like a melding of a whole bunch of different chaotic energies with this paint in this space as he's like, oh, I'm Castor. Oh, no, I'm really Zeus. And then like he balances that line of almost Joker-esque, but he can't. He knows he's not supposed to be the Joker. And it's such a great performance to watch because from the jump, when we first meet him, nobody should be friends with this guy. He's in it for himself. And meanwhile, Sam is like, I need his help. He's going to help me. I'm the And it doesn't work out the best way. But I love that.
Playing at all angles.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and then too, when we get his interaction with Clue, he has this, you can see the palpable nature of almost like the intimidation and the you still need me, right?
Right where I am.
This is what we do.
He goes from it's like you give me the city. Okay, I'll stay right where I am. It's like
Exactly.
the worst negotiation.
But it's so fantastic to watch how many little ticks he has in moving that conversation. And then you really do see where the power dynamic is. And he does it in such a fun way. Like I could talk about Michael Sheen all day, but that's the end of the Michael Sheen talk. That's the end of my Michael Sheen talk. My big gripe is Clue. The CGI.
What are you talking about? That looks just like him.
It looks just like him.
That looks like a PlayStation 3 2007.
2010 de-aging?
No, that's just CGI, man. That's just straight up dot CGI.
It reminded me.
It's hard. It's a face
of the Neo CGI in Matrix Reloaded.
I mean,
and that was good.
At the beginning where he's talking to baby Sam, like they hide it, you're like, okay. And at the very end, it's like, we're always on the same team. You're like, oh no. You're like, well.
I'm gonna go with it.
The full turn. Like initially when it was just like a little bit, and we understand, we could talk about the age and it was CGI. We know. And the fact is that for as dynamic he is as a character, as a power, as like everything, as an antagonist, I can't take him seriously. And it's like, sir, how much treatment did you get on your face? Like when you were in the Matrix, in the grid, like how much did you how many other programs have you been smearing on your face to like make sure you stay young forever?
It is hard because I remember when they go to Flynn's little house and they're like wrecking up the place. And I was watching it for this episode. And I was just like, I don't feel shit because it's not it is a person. It is someone acting and doing this stuff and they're putting the CGI on it. But like when you're watching, you're like, this is a CGI person. This isn't like a person. It's a weird disconnect that happens.
It's 100%, and it feels like it's almost a disservice to Jeff Bridges at that point. But it also reminds me of what Gina Davis said when they're like, "Are you coming back for Beetlejuice 2?" And she's like, "Ghosts don't age."
Yeah, she
what
can't.
Are you gonna I can't. And so that conversation, I was like, "Listen, I know we have the technology, but should we? Should we really?" And then when the House of Mouse has so much money and the entire world around him looks so brilliant. Why did Clue get, literally the short end of the CGI stick? Like James Frain looked even better. And James Frain looked really wrinkly. Like it's James Frain.
Mm-hmm.
But
I think,
okay.
To its defense a bit, I think it was like apparently Disney wanted this to be more of like a Matrix movie. They didn't want it to be like the way it was, and apparently Joseph Kosinski had shot a concept trailer to be like, this is how it has to look like. It can't look like the way you guys want it to look like. So in the sense of itself, Disney I think was always a little misguided in how they were going to go do things. And I will say again to its defense, Joseph Kosinski, this is his first film, so I don't think he had a lot of bearing of how much he can argue with Disney and how much he can fight. But I think obviously to keep Flynn and Clue integral to the story was something that like this is just in good faith to fans, in good faith to people, the audiences who love Tron. And I love the idea that like Clue went haywire, not haywire, but he went overactive in his programming, and like Flynn's like, he's a reflection of me. Like when I created him, I didn't understand that people are perfection, right? Perfection has unknowns, and we can't create perfection. And it's like pretty, I like to say, like those are kind of high end things to think about, because especially in quote unquote nowadays times when everything's about maximum efficiency and maximum output, like this concept of like trying to strive for like all this perfection is like this young man's game instead of like a wizened, wisdom of Solomon kind of character that now aged Flynn is. But sorry. Go on, Amy or Steve's.
I mean, I'm gonna leave it there because there's lots of space to talk about in this film. Steve's.
So the first thing
yeah,
I like the movie. No, when this movie came out, before I even got around to seeing it, I had already had the soundtrack ingrained in my brain.
Yeah,
because back in those Apple Store days in the GR, because I was part of the GR team at this time, that was the soundtrack of the GR.
Wow.
You go in there and that's what was playing, the Tron Legacy soundtrack.
Wow.
So you'd be sitting there doing repairs and you hear Jeff Bridges, The Grid, and the beat starts singing. And then boom, 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 boom. I memorized every track before ever owning the soundtrack because we had that playing every day in the GR. So when I hit play on this and I hear those notes, I'm like, yep, goosebumps. There it is. I'm in the grid.
Woo! Sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
That peaked so high. My
Exactly.
goodness.
Sorry, for audio listeners, it was my nipples getting erect.
Yeah, I saw it happen. I remember the minute those notes hit, I remembered clocking in, open the GR door, and it's blaring inside off the Apple hi-fi box that we had there. So that I was already like giddy watching it again. It's been a while since I watched it, since like when it first came out, I saw it, and then it's been a long time. So it was just fun, like reliving the story again. Like I was watching it like it was the first time again. And Jeff Bridges is always a talent that I'd love to see on screen. I mean, it's underrated action movies. The movie Blown Away with Tommy Lee Jones and him. I love that movie so much. That's when I first became a big Jeff Bridges fan, was that movie. And I've liked him ever since. And in this, he's perfect. Garrett Hedlund, I've been a fan of his ever since Friday Night Lights. He was Patroclus in Troy. He was the fullback, Don Billingsley in the Friday Night Lights movie. Jack Mercer in Four Brothers. Yep. He was the punk rock brother. Yep. So I've always liked his performances, even when he was a piece of shit in Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. Fucking evil fuck.
James Wan.
I've always felt like he's been very authentic in his performances. Like he can get emotional very easily. He can command a screen when he's the only one on camera. So, and Olivia Wilde. Come on.
It's Olivia Wilde.
It's Olivia Wilde. Come on. She knows what she's doing. Michael Sheen, even damn it, I forgot his name. The character who is Clue's
James Frain.
Yes, James Frain.
He's like the lackey. He's got an actual name, but he's got the weird like half a visor with the circles. And he's like long live the users, death to the users. You should know what's going on. And that's right.
Jarvis.
Yes. He was from 24 on one of the seasons of 24. I remember first seeing him, but
he was in True Blood. You should remember that.
Yeah. But just the world building, just watching the first Tron, and then of course I know 30 years in between, but just the way they built the grid, the way it looks, how gorgeous it goddamn is, and how you even get the Daft Punk cameo in there at Zeus's place. Yep.
At end of line.
Yes. I was like smiling the whole time watching, because I just loved being immersed in this world again. And I don't even think I was a big Tron fan like as a kid, but thoroughly enjoying Tron Legacy. Like just loving seeing what they were able to do in a sequel, given that even Clue looks like a video game character, but still the story that we're telling. We have a theme here of relationships in our stories. We have Clooney and Kidman's relationship in theirs. We have Sandberg and Melody in theirs, and then we have the father-son relationship here with the Flynns. And it just really felt that those last moments that they're with each other before in that finale. That's a credit to those two actors being really good at what they do, especially Jeff Bridges. And I just really enjoyed watching this again. And I'm now probably going to play the soundtrack for another few days on loop while I'm driving, while I'm writing. Boom, boom.
Some things I want to talk about in particular. First of all, I want to talk about like a not cool thing. This does not fall into one of the tropes of Born Again Beautiful, or Born Yesterday Beautiful. It's the young, hot babe who's like got a childlike understanding of the world, who's just like there to be
the poor things,
just to be romanticized. Leeloo
Poor
Dallas, Multipass, and Cora fall into that, which is unfortunate because those are some of my favorite movies, and I do like those characters, and they're probably these weird perverse feelings that I have in my mind. But like, call a spade, baby. Just because you can call a spade doesn't mean you don't have to like it anymore. Just be like, cool, I know this about myself. But she is a plot point. She's one of the ISOs, these like perfect beings that created out of nowhere, that kind of get like a little bit lost in the shuffle. It didn't do so hot critically, and I think it's kind of, and it's weird because right now Tron Ares is out, and a lot of people are like, everyone's like, let's be honest, none of them had good writing. I'm like, I don't know about that. I think this one has very esoteric writing. That sometimes things get lost. I think some of the weakest points is the like fight scenes are some of the weaker portions of this film. And again, I'm not just gonna say this first movie, whatever, right? I get it. But like it's the fight scene in the End of the Line Club, and I'm like, these moves look very stilted. Is this the first fight scene that they shot? How many months did they get a chance to rehearse these things? Like, these are questions of somebody who wants movies to do well and likes movies. I don't just say, this is ass mid-movie. Those are idiots online. Don't be that. But I will say, I really, really enjoy, watching the first one. I watched the first one and then watched this one to like super get my mind right. And watching the first one being like this idea of the master control program being like, fuck the users, I'm the program, you programs are stupid. And then like a user comes in and the program's like, we believe in the user. It's like, again, it's this like messianic character come from another planet to this savage barbarian planet, right? It's, again, I think that's a very Flash Gordon-y kind of ideology, but like this movie expands that so much further in this sense where like it becomes this like biblical sense where like Clue is much like Gabriel, is like, I am your number one creation, aren't I? Like, why don't you love me? Why did you leave me? Why do you like these other creations more than me thing? And like, I hate you, Father, but I love you, Father. And I want to be you, Father, but I'm not you, Father. And it's like, it's cool. And then all of a sudden you see him face to face with like Sam, and like you have to kind of rewatch it again, kind of like these other movies that we had talked about in this movie meetup, is when you watch it a second time, you're like, oh, Explosion by Fournier, like that's the no, he lied to you already from the beginning, girl. But like in here, you're like, oh yeah, this is like when you don't realize that Clue is Clue and he's pretending to be his dad. He's like, oh, that's a thing, I'm not your dad, but I am very happy to see you. You're like, oh, that's Clue. And then when you understand like, oh, Clue is just trying to do what he was programmed to do, is create the perfect system. This is like, again, this maligned child who's trying to seek the affection and approval of his father, and his father abandoned him. He's like, I don't know what to do else. Thirdly, I had a wallpaper of Jem Bo Garrett on my computer for such a long time because I was like, as a kid out of high school, I was like, that's hot, crazy cyber lady. But the funny thing was when I rewatched it, I'm like, didn't she have a thing with Johnny Storm and Fantastic Four 2? And it was like going back watching it, I'm like, isn't the other one in Reacher? And I'm like, man, there's so many people in here that I'm just like, I was just like, to your point of like, oh, that's that. And to the Michael Sheen thing, I don't know. If I can't have a world without Lex Luthor and John Travolta and Michael Sheen as the Joker, what kind of world do I live in? What kind of world do we live in? You know what I'm saying? Like, that would be great. Wouldn't that, could you imagine them next to each other? And then like, Lex Luthor's like, I found a pound of kryptonite, and Joker's just like, I can do whatever I want with it. And like,
Yoink.
It could be cool.
I know also that it was back in 2010, but it was still weird to see Cillian Murphy with such a short role.
Oh yeah, Cillian Murphy.
He's only at he's
Dillinger's son, like a douchebag.
Yeah. And that's it. I'm like, I'm not used to Murphy having such a small part. Like I'm used to him having bigger
like a
parts
big one.
now. Yeah. But again, 15 years ago.
They didn't know.
Yeah, it's the same thing. Yaya DaCosta was one of the sirens, so she's one of the other people, and she's like a primary in Chicago Med. And I was like, hey, I know you.
Why is there more of you?
What you doing over there?
If anyone,
Why are you being silly?
If anyone listening is playing the IMDb game with this, if you go through, you're like, oh my god, there's this person, Brendan J. McLaren, one of the Red Rangers from Power Rangers. It's like, you know, you'll find all these things. You're like, oh my god, it's that person. Oh my god, it's that person. Oh my god, like, that's really been a good enjoyment out of watching this now as a retrospective. But the main reason I actually wanted you guys to watch this because I think I suggested this after I had watched. I think after we watched F1, because I'll tell you right now, when I looked at the list, I'm like, who the hell picked Tron Legacy? And I was like, I picked Tron Legacy. I totally forgot, and I'm like, I must have picked it after F1, and I was just like, huh. And I will say this: F1 and this really do affirm my belief. If you guys know me, know the show, you know that if I can, the moment I'm done and it's in the theaters and I could watch it after I've made it, a Batman Beyond movie is my like life goal. If there's any other person that can do it, I think Joseph Kosinski could do it. Because I think the way, even in the real world at the beginning where we have Sam driving around the bike and then jumping off the building, I'm like, this is how Gotham should feel like. And then when we get to the grid, I'm like, this is how Neo Gotham should feel like. Even with the giant like end of the line, like when it blows up and like they're falling down and then like all those hatches have to open. I'm like, that is how the mega structures of Neo Gotham work. Like there are not streets, there are levels. So it's like you're in lower level Gotham, mid level Gotham, and high level Gotham. And it's like these mega structure elevators will take you up and down them. And I'm like, this is how it should feel. Maybe, obviously, you don't feel like you're in a complete void, but I'm like, this is how, like, the streets should have this weird sheen to them. Like, the ground should look like it has water on them, but you don't do a wet down. It's actually just, like, glowing from the neon lights of the buildings around you. Like, people should, like, when Flynn shows up and he's got the fucking Jedi hoodie and they get the lights on the inside, I'm like, this is how it should look like. This is how it should feel. And Daft Punk, every club should feel that way. I have had it in my mind. I don't think it's ever mentioned in the animated or even in the comic books, but the club that Terry and Dana go to should be the Iceberg Lounge that's been remodeled to be like a club, like an actual club that like doesn't have crime going on anymore. But it's like, yeah, you should have these like weird electronic-y songs that like, you're like, do people listen to this? But it's like, again, that seediness, like, it's so funny how, because F1 is also known for its intense soundtrack. Like my cousin saw it and he said it was Hans Zimmer, I believe, did F1, if I'm mistaken. Go on, keep talking.
I think it was, but my cousin was like, after watching it, he put that on, and like I felt like driving 90 miles an hour on the freeway because of
Don't do that.
Well, just
We're
because,
not the Autobahn.
but of that score, of that score for F1, like it didn't have to go that hard, but it went that hard, and they were thankful that he went that hard. So it's like Tron Legacy, F1, they both got those soundtracks that you want to drive to. You
But-
want to get
You
work
want to
done.
move to.
It's
Yeah.
also the intensity that feels like, again, it's like it's how sleek everything looks. Like everything looks like they were just manufactured, yet like
Just clean.
they've been there for such a long time. Like,
Yeah.
and it's like, how did you make it look this, like, it's just obviously
Right out of the car
good
wash.
costumers, good art directors, and good set designers, like all the people in tandem, but making sure that they are in this vision. So like
Nothing
I'm like, yeah.
had a blemish on it. Not one
Mm.
blemish on it.
But even then, like even like the wrinkles in the suits, like it feels
Yeah.
good. It doesn't look
Yeah.
like messy. Where like
Mhm.
I've hated that when like you see that in Star Wars, where it's like, I don't care that the suits are bright. I just feel weird when they have starch lines in them. Like it's like, you're in a war. These should be worn in a little bit. Like, and here it's like these are like slim line suits, but it's like you have human creases in there. I'm like, that's great. Like, it's not where like, things are up butt cracks and you're seeing lines, but it's like, okay, cool. You see the figure and you're like, cool.
Mhm.
It's all inferred. It doesn't have to be like, muscle padded, but I'm like, it's such a good look. And also like, then you mix it with the technology, but also the like religious aspects and biblical aspects of just like Flynn. I don't know. I love it a lot. Just of those things. I think a lot of those pieces do give me a great experience with it. Again, this is one of those movies I'm like, I'm not like, oh, I'll die for this movie, but I'm like, man, there's a lot of this. It goes.
I'll watch it
very
again.
Yeah.
I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll watch this again. Yeah.
well.
It's very easy to watch too. That's
yeah.
the other thing. Like once you're kind of in it, you feel along for the journey. It doesn't feel as long as it is. It's another two, like Palm Springs was like an hour and a half, I
Mhm.
think, something like that. This is like just over 2 hours.
Mhm.
It doesn't feel like it is dragging
No.
the entire way. And even though some of the choreography is a little bit stilted in places, it makes up for it in not only the writing, especially like I always loved that I'm gonna knock on the sky and listen to the sound.
Mhm.
Like that concept. I know a whole bunch of people that suddenly were like, oh yeah, this is what I'm doing. I was like, shut up, you saw it in a movie, but I'm proud of you. Like you're figuring things out. Like there's philosophy there.
Yeah.
It's also trying to tell a literal story that bridges across so many concepts, so many genres, so many topics, but it still keeps its pace
Mhm.
moving. So it doesn't feel like when you get to act 3, you're like, oh my God, are you done yet?
Mhm.
Like it balances itself in such a way. And I do think part of that pacing, like the encouragement of the pacing, comes specifically from the soundtrack, but it also comes from having a very small cast. Even though we have extras, the cast, it seems like for most of these movies, are kind of condensed.
Mhm.
Like we don't have a whole bunch of like, oh, it's random insert person over here, random insert
Don't need
person
'em.
over there.
Don't
You
need
don't-
them.
you
2
don't need 'em
and
to-
1/3 cool person.
And then we're good.
That's all you need.
Everybody else is
That's all you need.
incredible. But yeah.
I will also say it's been shown up online a lot where people see the scene where Flynn's finally having a conversation with his dad about the Ducati bike and why he never came back and all the stuff. He got stuck here and all that stuff. Or like not those conversations, but when they're on the flying train thing, and people say that it's a slow scene, and I'm like, this is like a scene. If you actually watch the movie, you're like, it's catharsis because like
Yeah.
this son never got these moments with his dad, and they're actually able to
Exactly.
dream about like having a future together. Like it's the emotion that you needed after watching just vibes, tension, survival, exposition, and you get this emotional moment where like finally characters are being human with each other, and it's like a great relief. So like it's really weird to see people online who just have no media literacy talk about that.
Kevin Flynn seeing those quick cuts of his young son before he. Oh,
And then
Well, and even that he knew his birthday. Like
You should
when
be
Cora,
27
they're sitting
right
at the table and Cora asks like,
Mhm.
well, how old are you? And he already immediately knows. It builds in that moment, and it's one of my favorites, is without even looking up, he doesn't look up, he doesn't break stride, he's sitting there eating. It is as simple as breathing. His son is this old, and
Mhm.
his son should be that old, because it's not only he remembers, but this is his son. This
gonna
is
track.
his. Yeah, it's that's the whole line right at the end, exactly as to why he's doing it. it boils everything down to essentially, and I pin it to that moment where it's just like, I couldn't be there and I wanted to be there. And still, even in this moment, I will be here. Like there's so much we could go.
We'll leave it off with one last thing. I did the yeah to Esteves. I don't know if you got it, but it was the Flynn. Am I still supposed to create the perfect system? Yeah. Yeah. It's a very underrated, like, what the fuck kind of directing was that?
Yeah.
But like it's he's just walking with Tron. Yeah. It's so good. If you haven't seen it, go give yourself a treat and just be like, this guy's like, am I supposed to create the perfect system? Yeah.
Well, that's just your opinion.
Yeah,
man.
it was such a dude moment. And like, I mean, there's a moment like he's just like, you've done all you've done. You're really killing this Zen thing I'm going on, man. And I'm like, what is it? It's so good. But this is also post Obadiah Stane, right? So it's like this funny, like, oh, I got the dude and I got Stane at the same time.
At the same time, yep.
All right, moving on. We are done with the movies. We got one last thing. One cool thing. Make it quick. The episode's long in the tooth. Esteves, go.
For those of you looking for something that sounds like Daft Punk, especially in Tron Legacy, I'd suggest go looking up a group called Lematos. That's 2 words, Lematos. Primarily, they're Chronicles of the Wasteland Turbo Kid original motion picture soundtrack.
Have you seen Turbo Kid?
I've seen parts of it.
You have to see Turbo Kid.
I love this album so much because when I first found it, I'm like, this sounds like Daft Punk Tron Legacy type vibe.
And it's BMX bikes in a wasteland.
Yeah, it's a Canadian sci-fi film.
It's ridiculous.
But their work outside of this album, but primarily this album, it is of that Daft Punk vibe, of that Tron Legacy Daft Punk vibe. And I've loved them ever since. This is one of those playlists, albums that I play when I'm working on something, when I was doing data transfers at Apple, whatever it has been. And I just thought of it also when Tom was talking about how his Batman Beyond film would look. I'd be like, these guys would be your score. They would be the ones to make the score for you because they're not copies of Daft Punk. They're of that same genre, same vibe, but they are their own.
They speak the same language.
They speak the same language, and I feel you get that same. Just let the album play.
Might be different lyrics, but the same language.
Exactly, but it's you just let the album go, and they even have one, a Summer of '84, which is a horror-like soundtrack. But give them a shot. Lematos is their name. They're on Apple Music. They're on Spotify. It's primarily their Chronicles of the Wasteland Turbo Kid soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
Amy.
All right. So then for me, everybody, if you are having your K-pop Demon Hunters kind of just like, you need more of that energy, may I suggest a moment that was highlighted in K-pop Demon Hunters, where it came from originally, the K-drama Business Proposal. The actor that plays Jinu actually is the main one of the main characters in Business Proposal. It's available on Netflix. But the whole concept is essentially there is an employee. She's a food scientist. She goes on a blind date in place of her wealthy friend to literally make the blind date super annoyed, and like she acts intentionally obnoxious so that he'll leave her alone. And it turns out to be our voice actor who plays Jinu is actually the blind date. He's the wealthy CEO, also her boss. And he's like, do you know what? I'm being pressured by my parents and my grandparents. How about we just don't stop? We stop dating. We get engaged. I'll give you money. Like we can pretend. He goes, you just got to be my fake fiance. And then like, we don't really have to get married. We just kind of have to wait. It sounds really weird. We kind of have to wait out grandparents a little bit and like everything will be cool.
Solid.
She needs the money, of course, because she is a poor food scientist, as us all are poor food scientists. And so she accepts his offer, fakes being a fiance. There's super dumb, ridiculous scenarios. A whole bunch of K-drama tropes happen as well. And simultaneously, she's actually trying to hide her real identity from the CEO because he still thinks that she is the wealthy friend, and she's not. So, yeah. And then inevitably, she falls in love, and they fall in love. And maybe it works out. Maybe it doesn't. You never know. But yeah, it's Business Proposal, currently available on Netflix. And it is a K-drama. Tom!
For mine, in a completely opposite direction, I'm gonna recommend Freerin. I just started watching that.
Ooh.
Um,
Available on Netflix.
on Netflix. Have you watched it, Amy?
Have it on my list.
Put it on the top. Put it on the top because everyone, this is
Ooh,
it. Freerin, Beyond Journey's End. So we all know D&D, right? Usually a party of people, normally a dwarf, a cleric, an elf, and a paladin, a magic user, a healer, a warrior type, and then an all-arounder. The story Freerin follows the character Freerin, who is this elf, and she is a magic user. And the story starts with the ending of the campaign where they have defeated the Demon King. But if you know anything about elves, they live very long. So the story kind of starts where everyone's in their 80s except her. She's probably in her like early thousands. And so decades mean nothing to her. And you kind of see her. She's a little bit of this cold character, and we get flashbacks throughout the show. And she's kind of really, even though she is someone who's lived so long and has so much understanding of this world we live in, this medieval world of demons and dragons and spells and magic, understanding the human condition is kind of her journey. So through her, we see humans at their best. And she gets kind of given a child to make an apprentice, a human. And there's this quandary of like, is there a point in teaching this child? Because this child won't live longer than 100 years. So is it really will they become a strong enough mage where they can actually ascertain enough magic to do such things? But as you go through the show, and it's like a 28 episode show, which is great for an anime. And you kind of see moments where pieces of humanity have been affected so well by her good deeds, but she doesn't make much of it, but it creates this legacy. So she becomes this, like, she's this hero of legend. And every flashback kind of gives you this concept of like how well people have treated her so that she can never truly feel like she's alone, even though her journey is alone. She does have to live this life kind of in solitude, but the memory she makes with these people is important. It's beautiful. It's really crazy, and I didn't expect to like it so much because medieval stuff doesn't really do much for me. But this story is just like, let's talk about humanity from someone who's not human, and let's flip it on its head of like, there isn't this Campbellian, Joseph Campbell story arc. It's more of like, we're just in this long form adventure. And there isn't this like need to save the world or I need to grow and all that stuff, but it's more like just small levels of wisdom that are bestowed upon the audience really through her experiences. It's a very beautiful show, and I didn't expect to really like it that much, but it's been like it makes me think the most. It's not like when I watch it, I'm like, oh my God, that was the best thing. But like, I think about it for hours and days later. I'm like, wow, that was crazy. That was really, really good. Freerin, Journey's Beyond, Journey Beyond End. Yeah. Beyond Journey's End. Okay. That's the episode. Thank you again to all of you listening who made to the end of this. Thank you, Amy. Thank you, Esteves, for co-hosting. Thank you, T-Dog, for being our patron of the episode. Thank you for the rest of our patrons for supporting our show. If you'd like to check us out, check out nerdon.tv for everything, and join our Discord to continue the conversation. What did you love? Which episode, which movies do you want to talk about more? Are we kind of whack, or are we on top of it? Other than that, that's it. Take care of yourselves. Y'all all know the drill. Am I forgetting anything, y'all?
I mean, as always, we should do something.
Okay, I just want to make sure like we got everything all done. Okay, cool. That's it. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. Take care of your loved ones. You know the drill. As always, nerd on.
Nerd on. The grid.
Ending broadcast.